Hello and welcome to another Caffeinated Entertainment video. It's Art here with the book Rereview for Kim Sherwood's Double or Nothing, the first of the 00 trilogy by Kim Sherwood. I reviewed this book 3 years ago. I didn't like it at all. I didn't know at the time it was going to be a trilogy, and because of that, I graded it harshly. I have to disagree with myself on that. And Double or Nothing is the reason why you go back sometimes and reread books when you have more information. Now, yes, it is, as far as I know, as far as I can find even today, it was her second only published novel, so she was relatively new to the novel thing, and it was her first 007 world entry. And most of the complaints I have in the original video are true. The book jumps around from agent to agent. There's like a billion agents, which I get that she's trying to build her world for the trilogy. I understand that. I get that. I totally get that. I understand that. I vibe with that. However, I think for the reader, there can be too many agents and too many plot lines to track, especially since they don't all come in and close to a satisfying conclusion by the end of the book. That is still true, but that is because there's more books. She's got a, like it's the first in the trilogy. The movie Star Wars didn't wrap up that whole story until you got to the Return of the Jedi. So I understand now where that's going. However, some of the characters are vapid. You've got a physically disabled person in there, I think, just to be in there and to be inclusive. And I, for one, being physically disabled. Now, the character is deaf. I'm not deaf, but I am physically disabled. And I can say, at least one, myself, physically disabled person, I don't want to be included in there as a token person. And they keep bringing up that without Q's implant, he wouldn't be able to function truly as an agent. He would be at a severe disadvantage, which would inevitably get him killed. And I could see where he would be like a tech guy in the agency. I could see where he could be a handler for somebody in the field, like back at the office. But being an agent feels a little bit too inclusive for inclusive sake to me. That being said, I did like the story. I did like where I hope she's heading towards this. Spy Like Me is book 2. I will be reading that, and you'll probably get a review on that within the next week or two. So I hope we continue and we go through and we do what we need to do to make it happen. But I hope too, yes, the nod to the film series and to the book series and to the Bond character. And Bond is central to driving the main trilogy plot. You can see that. But there's also B, C, D, E plots that kind of muddle things along the way, which I think detracts a little bit from the book. I do like that the entire agency is searching for 007 because they realize, hey, wait a minute, he's our best agent. We need to find out if he's alive or dead. We need to find out, like, if we're going to get our boy back because we need our boy. I get that. But you also know that Ian Fleming Publication isn't going to let Kim Sherwood kill James Bond. So as a Bond fan, that level of the stakes isn't quite as high as she tries to make it be. It's just not, because you know that IFP is not going to let her kill 007, because 007, not only being James Bond, being the most famous fictional spy there ever is also their cash cow, and and they're not going to let her kill the cash cow. Still, the stakes are real. I would like to see them, maybe by the end of it, somebody who we know from Bond's world, say a Felix Leiter, say well, not Jack Wade, but say somebody we know from the Bond literary world, Renee Mathis. Somebody like that dies in the book series to raise the level of the stakes. Obviously, she can probably kill the character she created, but we as readers don't have that long a time invested in those characters. Maybe, I don't know, maybe M dies, maybe, because M can be replaced. Maybe, any such way, there needs to be stakes that we know are going to be real, because you know IFP is not going to let her kill 007. It's just not going to happen. James Bond is not going to... They're not going to make that stupid mistake. Even though Ian Fleming had once said he had flirted with the idea and even thought of killing James Bond, like, now that he's been alive for over 60 years, and there's a new Bond novel coming out, King Zero, later this year, you know they're not going to let the cash cow go away, because if they kill Bond, they can no longer make more books. They can no longer profit off of James Bond, because you can't just go, well, he was dead, but then he's alive. You can't do what the movies are doing, because the movies are just doing a hard reset, from what I understand, which is, I guess, okay, but we'll see how that goes, especially since Amazon's in control of Amazon MGM is in control of it now, and not Eon Productions. But it's still a good read. It's still an intense read, but it is a read that you can tell that she's building the world, weaving the web, but not going to pay the web off. It comes to a bombastic conclusion, or a bombastic end. It doesn't really come to a conclusion. Comes to a bombastic end with a cliffhanger at the end that leads you right into Spy Like Me, the second book. And I'm sure Spy Like Me is going to lead you right into Hurricane Room, the third and hopefully final book, or supposedly final book. We'll see. But for me, it's a read it, own it, like it on my scale. It's a 4 out of 5, up 3 stars from 3 years ago. 4 out of 5, because there are still some glaring flaws. I like all the nods to Bond's past that she did. I like that the entirety of MI6 is looking for 007, no matter how realistic that would be, because honestly, after 17, 18 months, they would probably presume him dead and move on. Let's be honest. But it would kill the crux of the book. But let me know in the comments down below if you've read the first 2 books in the 00 trilogy, because the 3rd book doesn't come out until May 19th of this year, so we're not there yet. But let me know in the comments down below if you read it, what you thought of it, and if you plan on reading it if you haven't. Try to keep it spoiler-free for those who haven't read it. But until next time, you know I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday at 12:30 p.m. Central, 10:30 a.m. Pacific, 1:30 p.m. Eastern. Please like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. Please ding the notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And without further ado, happy reading. I'll see you again soon. And peace.